There was three things I knew growing up. At 15, I knew these three things at 15. At 15, I knew, 1, I wanted to be a hairdresser. 2, I wanted to live in America. And 3, I wanted to be rich. So those are the three things. I was lucky enough to go to a seminar, and I saw Tony and Guy do a seminar. And I fell in love for the second time. And I just fell in love with that company. And I made up my mind to run away and join the circus. And I was fortunate enough that Tony and Guy wanted to come to America. And they asked me to come to America and bring the company to America, which I did. And we started in Dallas, Texas. And there was 3 of us that started the company. There was Bruno, Paul, and I. And we started in a garage. And we wanted to be an amazing company. Now, you have to remember, this is in 1984-85. We didn't have salons. We didn't have products. We didn't have academies. We had nothing. But we had the most vital ingredient that anybody can ever have, and that is vision. We had a very clear vision on what we wanted to accomplish. And we drilled it down to a simple mission statement, and that was, we want to upgrade the industry by sharing our culture of education. We want to upgrade the industry by sharing our culture of education. And I went all over America, and Paul went all over America, and Bruno went all over America, and we talked to hairdressers, and we shared our culture, and we did haircuts, and we did classes, and eventually we got a product, and then we got another product, and we were operating out of a garage. We were in a garage. And our office was a table that was about 2 foot by 2 foot. It was a card table, and that was our office. But we kept coming back to our vision. And slowly but surely, we started building and growing our company. And I would travel all over the United States. In fact, at one point, I had over 2 million miles of frequent flyer miles clocked up on one airline. I was like a blur. I was flying all over the place, building relationships, building the company. And over the years, those dreams became realities. You know, I was a celebrated hairdresser, recognized in my industry as an industry leader in education. I was voted one of the top 100 educators by Modern Salon of the Century. I was getting all these accolades. People would come to my classes and seminars. I was living in America. That was one of my dreams, so I had realized that dream. And the company was becoming a multi-million-dollar company. And the money was there. But I have to tell you, at a certain point, I didn't feel fulfilled. I wasn't happy. And things, they weren't clicking into place anymore. Now, I believe we get our message, we get our wake-up call when we need to get our wake-up call. At the time, I was traveling and I was staying in a hotel. And the alarm went off, the radio went off, and it was an alarm, and it woke me up. And I started to listen to the radio, and what I heard, it was a prisoner of war during the Vietnam War talking about his experience during the Vietnam War. And he was talking about how he was in a camp, and they weren't allowed to communicate. But what they managed to do, the prisoners managed to create a secret code to initiate a time for prayer. And with this code, they would signify, all the prisoners would kneel down, and they would all start praying. And suddenly, I had a moment of clarity, and that moment of clarity opened a window into my soul, and that window showed me that my life had become spiritually bankrupt. See, I had everything I wanted. I had all the money, I had all the toys, I had all the things, but my life wasn't working anymore. And listening to that soldier, I realized that he actually had more freedom than I had when he was in captivity, and here I was free, and I had absolutely no freedom. So at that point, I made a decision. I wasn't going to live like that anymore. And I made a decision to change my life, and I started to pursue balance.